The admiral told lawmakers that the two survivors were waving at something in the air before they were hit, although it's unclear whether they might have been surrendering or asking the U.S. aircraft they had spotted for help. What could, of course, clear up at least some of the account would be for the administration to release more video, or any video of this second strike, something the president himself was asked about on Wednesday.
You released video of that first boat strike on September 2nd, but not the second video. Will you release video of that strike so that the American people can see for themselves what happened?
I don't know what they have, but whatever they have, we'd certainly release, no problem.
Well, perspective now from retired U.S. Air Force Colonel Cedric Layden, former Army Captain Margaret Donovan, who served in the military's Judge Advocate General's Corps and is a former federal prosecutor, and former Congressman and member of the Air National Guard, Adam Kinzinger. So, Captain Donovan, I mean, does it change this at all, the idea that this vessel was allegedly heading towards Suriname and not the U.S.?
Yeah, I mean, look, from the beginning, we have, myself and like-minded legal scholars have been saying that this is not justified under the law of armed conflict.
No matter what.
Point blank.
Why?
But some of the, well, first of all, we're not in an armed conflict, so I would start there. These snippets of the legal opinion that we have seen, because it's classified, so we've only seen pieces of it, seem to indicate that there is some invocation of collective self-defense or self-defense of the United States or of our allies. However, when you have a boat that is headed now not even to the United States, but to a third-party country, and it's not carrying fentanyl, and eventually we shipwreck it, we're so far away from the concept of imminence, which underpins a self-defense justification for going to war. It's not even worth considering. It isn't tied to the facts at all. Having said all of that, I do just want to reiterate, we're not in an armed conflict, so we can talk about the second strike on September 2nd from an armed conflict perspective, if it helps us agree on how horrendous it was. But overall, this entire operation and the campaign should not be going on. This is a law enforcement mission.
So the fact that you're saying it's a law enforcement mission and not an armed conflict, the rules of war would not even necessarily be applicable here. Like,
no.
It shouldn't be discussed in that realm.
Exactly. If anything, we should be talking about the use of force in law enforcement operations, because right now, as we speak, the Coast Guard is still conducting interdiction missions.
Without
killing people. Yes, and they are successfully interdicting drugs all over. They report on it. You can FOIA this information. So the idea that this particular military unit has decided to pick random boats in the Caribbean and use lethal force against it, that just undermines all of the justifications that the administration has used here.
And it's interesting, it's these videos which are being released, not necessarily highlighted by the president and Coast Guard interdiction efforts.
It is, but I'll tell you that if you look on, for example, Southcom's X page, you can search for the word vessel or interdict if they haven't taken it down yet, and you can